Hello friends, I am Suchi. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we will discuss about chemiosmosis hypothesis. As already we know, in light reaction plant produce ATP, NADPH2 and oxygen. This oxygen diffuse to atmosphere as byproduct and plant utilize this ATP and NADPH2 as assimilatory power in dark reaction to reduce carbon dioxide to produce sugar type of food. These ATP are getting synthesized when electrons are passing from one carrier molecule to other carrier molecule in both cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. Actually, how this is happening, how ATP is getting generated during electron transport, that we will understand by chemiosmosis hypothesis. This hypothesis first proposed by Peter Mitchell in 1961. First we will make a diagram of thylakoid as slight reaction occur in thylakoid membrane of chloroplast. Suppose this is one thylakoid. This is the outer membrane of thylakoid. This one is the inner membrane. For better understanding of this hypothesis, we will consider here non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. Because non-cyclic photophosphorylation process, both the pigment system are participating, both ATP and NADPH2 are getting synthesized, and electron passing from one pigment system to other pigment system are not returning to their own reaction center from where they have originated. For that reason, photolysis process also involving in this non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. First we will understand what are the complex are helping in this process. One is photolysing complex. Which is helping in photolysis process, and it is present at the inner membrane of thylakoid. This is the lumen part of thylakoid or core part of thylakoid, lumen. At outer membrane, NADP reductase enzyme present, which is helping in NADP plus reduction. This non-cyclic photophosphorylation process first initiated by pigment system 2. When pigment system 2 is getting a specific wavelength of light, it is releasing a pair of electrons. Those electrons first received by primary electron acceptor, then this primary electron acceptor passing those electrons to different carrier molecule. Here 3 different carrier molecules are involved to transfer these electron from primary electron acceptor to pigment system 1. So here is pigment system 1. After that, when this pigment system 1 is getting a specific wavelength of light, it is releasing those pair of electron what it has received from this carrier molecule. Now this electron received by primary electron acceptor, then this electron passes to ferredoxin. From here these electrons are helping reduce this NADP plus to form NADPH2. Here electron passing from pigment system 2 to pigment system 1 and not returning to their own reaction center from where they have originated. To compensate this electron loss by pigment system 2, now this pigment system 2 is taking electron from water. When plant is absorbing water, water also coming here. In presence of solar light, with the help of this photolyzing complex, this water is getting split to form proton, electron and free oxygen. Now this oxygen diffuse to atmosphere in photosynthesis process as byproduct, and electron absorbed by this pigment system 2 to compensate its electron loss and continue the non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. But this proton will be as it is in this lumen part of thylakoid, or you can say it is getting stored in lumen part of thylakoid. Now come to here, 3 different carrier molecules are involving in this non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. One is plastoquinone, another one is cytochrome B6F complex, third one is plastocyanine. When electrons are passing from plastoquinone to plastocyanine, they are passing over this cytochrome B6F complex. That time this electron also losing some energy. By utilizing that energy, the cytochrome B6F complex transporting proton from stroma to lumen part of thylakoid. So what will happen? Proton are getting deposited at lumen of thylakoid. Here cytochrome B6F complex is not only acting as carrier molecule of this electron, it also acting as transporting protein to transport proton from stroma part to lumen part. Now proton number is increasing at lumen part due to this transportation. Here due to photolysis process, proton number also increasing. So as a whole, proton number is increasing at lumen part compared to stroma part. Due to this, it is creating one gradient. That gradient is known as electrochemical gradient. If we take number wise, proton number is more here compared to stroma part. If we will take charge wise, more positive charge is here due to presence of more number of proton compared to stroma part. So this electrochemical gradient will create here to differentiate at both the side. Now proton will try to move from lumen to stroma so that it can achieve equilibrium. Moment they are having specific force, that one is proton motive force. Due to this force, this proton will try to move from lumen part to stroma part. Now proton will move from higher concentration to lower concentration through a integral protein. That integral protein is CF0, which having one protruding part, that one is CF1, commonly known as ATPH. When this proton will pass through this CF0 CF1 complex or ATPase, this proton having charge and it's also having energy. By utilizing this energy, this CF1, which is protruding part, it will agitate or rotate. Due to its rotation, ADP present at stroma part will add with inorganic phosphate to form ATP, and this proton will pass through it to stroma. Now proton reach at stroma part. This proton will move here to reduce this NADP plus to form NADPH2 in presence of NADP reductase. By utilizing or by taking this pair of electrons. This is the chemiosmosis hypothesis. By chemiosmosis hypothesis, we can understand in non-cyclic photophosphorylation process how ATP are getting generated when electrons are passing from one carrier molecule to other. So here photolysing complex, which is helping in photolysis process, it is present at inner side of inner membrane, or you can say at inner membrane, and NADP reductase, which is helping in this reduction process, present at the outer side of outer membrane or at the outer membrane. Here cytochrome B6F complex is not only acting as carrier molecule for electron, it is also acting as transporting protein complex to transport proton from stroma part to lumen part. Here photolysing process occur at lumen part. ATP are getting generate outside of thylakoid membrane and NADPH2 are getting generate at outside of thylakoid membrane. It means both ATP and NADPH2 are present at outside of thylakoid membrane, which is stroma. In dark reaction, these two are acting as assimilatory power, and dark reaction occur in stroma part of chloroplast. So these will help in dark reaction. This is the most important mechanism. This chemiosmosis hypothesis can show in this small part of this non-cyclic photophosphorylation process. That's why they have shown in this manner. But some point you have to remember. Point 1, this photolysing complex present at inner side of inner membrane of thylakoid. Second point, photolysis occur at lumen of thylakoid. Point here I am writing this NADP reductase is enzyme present at outer membrane of thylakoid. Fourth point is ATP and NADPH2 both are producing at stroma of chloroplast. Fifth point, you have to remember the cytochrome B6 F complex, or simply you can say cytochrome complex is acting here not only as carrier molecule but also acting as transporting or transporter protein to transport proton from stroma to lumen of thylakoid. This point you have to remember for exam. This is all about chemiosmosis hypothesis. Hope you understand. Please like, share, comment and subscribe my channel. Thank you.